Power!
So we're back in project. We're back in the daily Vectra Turbo. Vectra Turbo. I'm gonna got some things to sort out the issues from the last video, so we have a surround. I already had a cage, so this should work fine. We have a vent holder for the boost gauge. And we have a cheap ass air filter. The cheapest air filter I could find. It was £6 delivered. £6 delivered! The only reason I've gone for a cheap one is because I actually want I want a K&N long one, but I want to redo all the intake pipe. But for now, for the sake of £6, right, I've just got this one, because then later down the line I can redo all the pipe work and put a bigger filter on. But for now, this is just to stop the crap getting in the engine. So let's start off inside the car and let's do this freaking CD player. So you can see it's expertly held in with the cardboard. We just need to get the cardboard out with your cardboard removal tool. These come from any local shop or eBay or anywhere. These are called screwdrivers. There we go. See, look, the cardboard removal tool works perfectly fine. So then that means that's now loose, and that will fall out. So I can disconnect the wires, put the cage in. Well, it does look like it's had some damage. Oh, I didn't actually notice that last time. So I want to disconnect that. I'm going to put that in, like so, and then I'll put the cage in, and then we'll try and slot that back in. Well, we're probably best starting off this freaking video how I mean to go on. It's a fail already, right? Because the cage doesn't fit in there. Because it's about a centimetre too tall. And I can't figure out why. I don't know if this is because it's a different shape cage, because it's got these raised bits here, which is possibly the case. This is just one I had in the garage. So maybe there's actually another one I need to get which doesn't have these raised bits. Maybe a different size cage. But I need a cage because you see them top bits there, they slot into that cover and then hold the cover in place, because when I put the cover there at the moment, nothing holds it. It doesn't clip into anything. In fact, it's actually loose. Look, it doesn't do anything. And the CD player at the moment just falls through the hole. So I still need another cage. So I'm going to put a bit of tape for now, just to hold that in there, and in there, and in there. I'm going to put the CD player back in, and I'm going to wedge it back with its cardboard while I get another cage. Because I can only assume that the cage is designed for a bigger opening, a wider, a taller opening, because of that shape there on the inside. You can see them on the bottom, it's on the top as well. So, and I'm 99.9% sure there's cages that don't have that in that are smooth, which would fit. I just don't have one, so I need to get one. So it's a good fail to start with. Look at that, you can see where someone's pried these buttons out. Look, took a chunk out of the freaking side, both sides as well. It was there, look. So I'm going to get a bit of tape just to tape that in, and then I'll put the CD player back and hold it with a bit of cardboard. At least it will look a little bit neater, because it doesn't have that showing. But yeah, I'll have to revisit this when I've got a proper cage. It might be when I have another freaking unit to put in, but you know, for now, I'm going to get some tape and just put it back in as a fail. So you can just see now, we have some duct tape on the top. Can you see the top? You can maybe just see the top. The top, the sides and the bottom. But now that doesn't move. Well, moves a little bit there, but it's not in and out, it's just the plastic flexing. So I can go ahead and just connect the wires back on and wedge it back in with cardboard. Woo! Well, it's still not ideal having the cardboard, but it is actually fixed in place with the cardboard at the moment. What can I say? It looks smarter now as a surround around it, but I'm still not happy with it, guys, so we will be revisiting it when I have another cage. That could be when I have another unit, I'm not sure. But either way, we're not done with this one yet. We will be revisiting this fix for now. But it does look a bit smarter than it did because it hasn't got the big hole around it. So I'm happier with it. I'm not happy with it, but I'm happier. Well, this is certainly one way to get a boost pipe into the car. It's not necessarily the way I would have done it. I'd have gone and found a grommet in the engine bay. Look at they've even drilled through the door in the middle of the screen now. They've even drilled to get in. I mean, don't get me wrong, it works, but it's just not what I would have done. I'm gonna go and get a torque screwdriver to pull this pod off, so I can have a look at making it fit better. But I am going to get another gauge anyway. But I'm not fussed about the wiring at the moment, because obviously we unplugged it in the last video. But I'm going to get the gauge sat in right so it doesn't roll around, because it's a bit daft. I'm going to get a screwdriver and get this pod out. I may have got a bit carried away. Maybe I should have done the boost gauge first, and in a second you'll understand why. Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to chase where these blue wires go, because these blue wires I know go to the boost gauge. So the yellow and black there, the yellow and black down there, somewhere there's got to be a join where they go from yellow and black to them blue wires. And I want to find them so I can stick some proper terminals on the end of it. Or, because I imagine going from blue and, well, it don't really matter because I want to put a new boost gauge in anyway. But I want it to be correct wiring. Bloody hellfire. And now I'm here. What I will say is that was a bit of a bodge putting it into the car, but I guess it works. Screws were missing out of the vents. Screw missing out of that vent over there, which makes me wonder if it's had the other vents put in, the one with the chrome bits on, out of the newer Vectra. Maybe I should put them back in, I don't know. This is where we are. We've now pulled out all of that, and I'm still trying to find where these blue wires go, because I haven't really learnt anything extra, other than it somehow comes up the side. So I'm going to try and find these wires and track them down. So I've took all that out, trying to find the freaking join. And the joint's here. Underneath this freaking trim that's underneath the steering wheel. After all that, I've took all that out. And I took all that out. Either way, I found it now. At least I know where it is when we get a new one. I don't mind that connection. That's a good connection. We just need that sort of connection down there, which I will sort out. Look at the freaking trim. Just bits everywhere. Bloody hellfire. What a pain in the butt that was. So I've soldered the connections. And my soldering iron there. That's cooling down now. Cut my hand up to shit, as you can see, with all the fucking marks, trying to get my hands in. What I've done is I've added some extra wire onto the, if you look at the very bottom, you can see them two little ones there. I added some extra wire, which is the red and the orange, so if I need to now add in any extra wires or anything like that, I've got some spare to do it. I don't know why that's so loose. I wish that was tighter. Yes, I've cut all my hand up on this freaking thing trying to do that, but I've added some extra wire, which is connected into that wire, which we now know is on that electrical block there, so I can change the boost gauge when I get a new one nice and easy. The boost gauge does work again now, but properly on the wiring. So if I just put the key in, you see that it lights up. You'll also notice, well, you wouldn't know any different, but that cigarette lighter didn't light up before because the plug was hanging off. You can just see my fingers lighting up underneath. So I just added that plug back on as well while my hand was down there, because why not when your hand's already cramping. Now I just need to rebuild everything. I need to disconnect this boost gauge now from that block, feed it through our vent pod, and somehow mount it in the vent thing. But there's no bracket on the end, on the back of this, so it isn't going to stay in place. It's going to want to fall out. So this would be, well, we're going to get a new one anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I want one that's doesn't light up blue. I want one that lights up white and red, if I'm honest. So that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to have to disconnect the wires, somehow get it to sit in right. Yeah, so yeah, you get where I'm going. So to install the gauge holder, you need to pull the fascia off of the actual vent, which has just got some clips that go around the edge, as you can just see. and it pulls off. You then drop that in place, and then hopefully it's just a case of banging it back on, but I'm going to need 2 hands to do it. Look how straight it looks! Yeah! We did a thing! Now I just need to put everything else back together. Bloody hell. Look how good it looks! I actually really like it. I just wish it was the right colour. It fits in there really well. Like, it's proper snug. As in, it ain't coming out, and it's not bolted, which is good, because obviously it doesn't have the bracket for it. But that looks sweet! Can't wait to put it all back together now. So I'll just put the pipe back on. I'm going to push it on a bit further. I will be doing a full boost gauge install when we get the new one, because I'm going to replace all the piping that goes into the engine bay. I know a few people's asked me about how it's plumbed in. Right, so that's there. I'm just going to push it back into the hole now and screw it all in place. And the next thing you will know is everything will be back together. And everything is back together. And the gauge is in its new holder. Ready. Lights. Loving it. Loving it. So, yeah, I still don't like the gauge, but at least it's in its holder and it's easy to change now. And I know where the wiring is, so. Cool. Now I've just got to fit that freaking cone. Woo woo! So we're underneath now. We need to get rid of this waste paper bin because it's completely knackered. So I'm going to undo the clamp and cut off the tie wrap and hopefully get the new one on. So we've removed the waste paper bin and the piece of pipe at the moment because that's a different fitment. And that's just bolted straight on, well, it's clamped straight onto the MAF sensor. So there we go. We have a new filter attached at the moment which is actually going to clean the air. Check out the amazing filter. God, it's got cold and windy. Well, we've made the CD area look better. We've fixed the boost gauge and wired it in properly for now until we get a new one. And obviously it looks awesome. And then we've gone and fitted a cone filter, which was the cheapest cone filter on the internet. Yeah! But it's going to do the job because the last one didn't have no filter because it was broken. It looked like a waste paper basket. Well, it's going to be the end of this video, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see on this car or on the other cars while I'm at it, the Supra or the Golf, leave a comment below and let me know. I think that's it. Right, I want to go in the house and warm up because I'm freezing. Thanks very much, guys. Ciao. See you soon. Bye, 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 bye. Power!